One is emergency, any kind of emergency. And the other is a compliment. But when they both come together, I know what it feels like. In 1983, at 5 p.m., my mother-in-law fainted. We didn't know what happened. We were rushing for an ambulance. By the time the ambulance came, my husband suffered from an acute appendicitis. Here I was sitting in the ambulance, ping pong, rushing to hospital. And there, all night, I was shunting from the male ward to the female ward. The doctors had decided and posted both the surgeries for the morning. I don't want to complain about my plight. I was there to serve, and I have been a nurse. So along with the other attendants, I was standing against the wall, waiting for the doctors to come on rounds or for the patients to be taken to the operating room. That is when I heard his voice. Dr. R.S. Gupta, whose voice traveled before you even saw him anywhere. He was famous for two things: his nimbleness with his surgical knife and his loud voice. I was excited. He was my favorite surgeon. And then he appeared, walking his usual slow gait, talking to the staff nurse in his loud voice. As he crossed me, he looked towards me and I said, "Good morning, doctor." He nodded but walked on. At the end of the corridor, he suddenly stopped, turned round, looked at me, walked up, and he said, "Usha Dhar?" I said, "Oh my God, doctor, you remember me?" He put his arm round my shoulder and said, "Who can forget Florence Nightingale?" That was the biggest compliment of my life, to be called by the name of a person whom I idolize. How many of you know Florence Nightingale? Well, those of you who know, repeated history for you. Those of you who don't will know more about her. Here's Florence Nightingale. She was born in a city called Florence in Italy on the 13th of March, 1820. Since childhood, she would love to nurse people who were sick. She would wash wounds, apply compresses on foreheads for those who were suffering from fever, not only in her family, not only in her village, but in the neighboring village as well. By the time she was 16 years of age, people already knew that she is going to go against her mother's wishes, who wanted the daughter to be a socialite and marry the wealthiest man on earth. Well, she wanted to become a nurse. At 17, there came a match for her. A very wealthy man, handsome, but she turned it down. Very politely, she made the man understand that love and matrimony is okay. Everybody has it. Everybody will get it sometime or the other. But what she wanted was to be active, to be able to give back to the society. And what she wanted in return was self-satisfaction. Great thought at that time. In 1944, she joined School of Nursing, Kaiserwerk in Germany. In 1944, though, war broke out in Crimea between the English and the Russians. The General Secretary then wrote to this hospital asking, requesting Florence Nightingale to come and take care of the wounded soldiers. So a team of nurses was sent. They were warned. The hygienic conditions are very, very poor in the camp. But she did not expect it to be as poor. For when she came to that camp, she found wounded soldiers lying there in their own excrement and urine. She was sad. But she got the other nurses, as well as the less wounded soldiers, to clean up the whole place. People who had been dying more out of infection than of their wounds, she brought the death rate down by 2/3 just because she brought in hygienic conditions. And people started looking up to Florence Nightingale. Patients would wait for her because at nights she would carry this lamp, go and check on patients, the more needy ones, the ones who have been suffering more. She would rather give up her sleep to take care of them. Soon she was called Lady with the Lamp, or some of them called her Angel of Crimea. For her good work, Florence was rewarded by the Queen herself with a brooch engraved Florence the Gem. She was also rewarded $250,000, which she gave to renovate the hospital where she had first worked. Young girls started looking up to her. They wanted to become nurses. Why alone in 1800s? Look at me. She is the one who instigated me to become a nurse. And then to have been called Florence Nightingale in an emergency situation was the best thing that could have happened to me. Florence Nightingale did get married later on, and she passed away on 20th of August 1910. She made a name for herself, and today I live in the glory of the name of Florence Nightingale.